As I said at the top of the show, it's a very big weekend for Holly Holm. She looks to snap her 3-fight losing streak. She is fighting Bethe Correia in the main event of the UFC Fight Night Singapore card, and her head coach, Mike Winkeljohn, is on the phone right now. Mike, how are you?
I'm good, Ariel. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I really appreciate you coming on. When do you go out there? When are you in Singapore?
I'm jumping on a plane in the morning, so I'll be there, I'll be there Thursday morning. Time.
Is Holly there already?
Oh yeah. She's already there and settled in and doing things she needs to do.
Do you guys talk? I mean, because I know there's a science when you go that far away with the time zones and all that. Do you guys talk? Like, are you a believer that you have to go X amount of days, given how many time zones it's away? I know there's a whole kind of theory behind all of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody has the right formula and stuff, but getting out there early does definitely help with acclimating your body. But so she's out there in plenty of time. She was out there. I think she was there late on Saturday, so she'll be ready for the fight.
Okay. How do you feel? What's your level of confidence going into this one? I know, strange question for a coach. You're always confident, but this is a very important one for her.
Have you ever had a coach tell you they feel like shit about it? And not get kicked out of the corner?
Yeah.
No, I feel good about it. Absolutely feel good about it. I think Holly's got can beat Bethe everywhere. I think Bethe is very, very strong. She's very good in the pocket with her boxing. She's as tough as they come. She's very good with her double underhooks and pushing people to the cage and slowing the fight down. She's very strong in her hips and her core, but with that being said, Holly just kind of can expose many weaknesses that she has everywhere else.
Perhaps this was the better question. How confident is Holly? I mean, anytime an athlete kind of suffers this sort of, losing streak, hits this kind of skid, I'm sure confidence comes into question a little bit. Have you sensed a change in the way, she's feeling, acting, holding herself before a fight as opposed to, a year and a half or so ago?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know what? She was on point with Misha, but just got caught off guard. Misha did a great job, beat her. It was a game of inches there at the end of the fight. The next fight was one of those fights I never should let Holly take. And I've said that before. I won't say why, but it took a while to get her out of that. And a lot of it has to do with your mindset and the confidence. And she's back. So I think people are going to see the old Holly Holm, new improved version with even more tools in this fight.
Why do you think she's back? Like, what's changed to get her back on track?
Oh, you know what? Just focus in on the fight instead of on other things at the moment. And that's it. Basically, just focus on what she needs to do to win the fight. And she's done it before where she's had to pick herself back up. And that's what Holly does. She never turned down a fight. She always is willing to fight. But in this case, it's a great fight for Holly. It gets her back where she wants to go, and can't look back past Bethe at all, but she's motivated for the fight. And
just out of curiosity, you've said it on this show that you should have never let her take the Misha fight. How come you don't want to say why?
Oh, no, that's not the Misha fight. No, we wanted the Misha fight.
Oh, the Valentina fight.
Yeah, no, I would never ever tell you why.
How come?
It's personal.
Okay.
It's one of those things that coaches don't do. You know what? There's reasons behind it, and that was my fault. We shouldn't have taken it, and I'm not going to tell you if it was an injury or a personal life type issue.
Okay.
But just one of those things that we shouldn't have taken it, and that one's on me. Jermaine, it took her a while to wake up. Maybe getting hit woke her up, but I thought we won that fight, and we'd like to see that one again.
Do you think that if she doesn't take the Valentina fight, everything changes afterwards? Like, that kind of set off this domino effect for her?
If she didn't take it, as you're saying, if she didn't take it, yeah, if we wouldn't have had that fight, but you can't go back. She wouldn't be in the situation she's in.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you know what? Holly's lost to 3 fights in a row. But here's the deal. She lost to the world champ. Someone beat her for the world title.
Yeah.
She lost to Valentina, who's fighting for the world title. And she lost to Jermaine on a world title fight. So, this sucks. But at that level, it's 50-50 sometimes on some of these big fights. That's just where they're at.
How long did it take for you to get over the Jermaine fight? Because I mean, that was I thought she won the fight as well, and it was somewhat controversial with the blows after the bell. Was that one, like, did that sting a little more than the Valentina fight?
Well, not as much, no, because it didn't sting as much because I thought Holly won the fight. But it does suck not getting the decision. And starting late the way she did a little bit, it took her a while to get going and go back to things that we really wanted her to do. And we had to change sometimes mid-fight, and she didn't do some of it. Some of it she did do. So, no, it took a while. It sucks losing. There's no doubt about it, but I've never seen a decision overturned.
Right.
That's just the way it is. All we can do is just pull our pants up and keep going.
Are you surprised to see what's happened afterwards with Germaine? It looks like she won't be defending that title anymore, and they're going to do a cyborg fight against possibly Megan Anderson. It kind of turned into a big mess after that. Are you surprised?
Not really. I mean, I think Germaine have a good fight with Cyborg. I really do. I think Cyborg's going to come hard for one round, but I think Germaine go. I think she could kind of beat Cyborg, especially after the first round. But I can't blame her. You know what? Cyborg, is Cyborg, and it's obvious. There's reasons why she is who she is. She's a very talented, explosive fighter, but there's reasons for it. And I've said it before on other shows. It's one of the situations that we're not fighting her at the moment, but I'd like to see her stay clean. And even then, is that even fair? Because things have changed. But I'll just leave it at that.
Is that a fight that you would like to see Holly in, or are you okay if she never fights Cyborg?
I don't know. I kind of think I'd like to see Holly fight Cyborg, honestly. I think it could be a gigantic payday down the road for both fighters. I know Holly actually likes Cyborg, but and Holly would never turn down the fight, so that would be under management. Okay.
Were you ever worried after the Germaine fight that Holly would not fight again?
Nope. Not in the slightest. I know Holly. She would never ever stop on a loss. That's just Holly.
It's amazing when the two most famous female fighters in MMA history, Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey, after suffering their first losses, changed. Gina never came back. Ronda came back one more time, and now it looks like she'll never come again. You can make a very strong case that number 3 in the history of the sport would be Holly Holm, and it seems like every time she loses, she wants to come back quicker and try to erase that loss. I don't know if that's maybe from her boxing background or just she's cut from a different cloth, but it is, in my opinion, very commendable that it's almost like the greater the adversity, the faster she wants to come back and make things right. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, that's exactly it. That's Holly. That's why that's why she has gone so far as she has gone in the world of boxing and beaten Ronda Rousey and we just had a bad string here and some bad decisions, a little bit of bad luck. I think a little bit of bad judging, and it's time to get going. Holly will be back. She's the real deal. Not only is she the person she is, so marketable, but she's a fighter at heart.
From a coaching perspective, did you have to change drastically the plan of it? I know every fight is different, but did you say did you have to take a step back and say, okay, we're doing this wrong in training, we have to do this to try to get back on track?
Yes, I did.
Are you able to elaborate more?
I just changed emphasis on different things. You know what? The sport is so big that what happens is people are trying to get spend so much time and effort on new things or developing new tools, and sometimes they forget about the tools they've had. And there's different things that do you attack or do you counter? There's just so many different variables in the fight. So Bethe has got her style, so there's a certain way to fight her, and we're going to make sure that we do that correctly in this fight.
As her coach, do you prefer Holly at 145 or 135?
You know what? I think whatever is the best fight for Holly at that point in time. I just wanted to get back to getting a world title. So either one would be fine. I think Holly would, after this fight, got to get to this fight first because I don't want to talk about it, but after this fight, we still want a world title shot. That's what I want. Either the winner at 135 or a world title shot. I have no idea what's going on with the 145-pound division, but that would be it.
Do you have a preference? Do you think that she has a better chance of becoming champion again if she's fighting at 145 as opposed to 135 or vice versa?
No, not right now. Not with the skill sets the ladies that are in those divisions have.
How many more years do you think that she is going to fight for?
I'm sure she's got a couple years in her. You know, it's all about Holly has not taken that much damage in her career. She's taken more damage in her last few fights than she has in most of her career. And with that being said, I think she can fight for a long time. She lives a real healthy lifestyle, and she's real smart about what she puts in her body. You know, how she trains and how she stays healthy. So it could be a couple years, and it's one of those things that one of these days when she doesn't have passion for it, she'll let us know. And that'll be the day.
This fight has kind of flown under the radar a bit because there's so much going on in the world of MMA, and it's so far away from the United States. It's on Fight Pass. Do you view that potentially as a blessing in disguise? There's less attention, less media. It's just kind of going to happen, maybe a little less pressure. Have you thought about these things, and do you think that's a benefit in her favor going into it, considering what's happened in the last few fights?
I think they both will. I think in some way they both get more to relax. There's no doubt. All the press, all the media, all the bullshit people have to go through before the fights is a distraction. Some do fine with it, and I think it's just it's easier on her life. I don't think that stuff really changes the fight for her. When it's time to fight, if she performs, it's because she's done her hard work. If she doesn't perform, it's because some things have happened or we didn't do the right thing.
Again, as her coach, what concerns you most about Bethe? I mean, I feel like we kind of know what kind of fighter she is. Is there anything that really concerns you about her attack?
She keeps coming. Just her tenacity and her strength and is huge. I think people underestimate how strong that young lady is.
Historically, going back to her boxing career, was Holly always kind of a slow starter?
You know, Holly was never really the knockout artist in her boxing career, so I wouldn't call her a slow starter. I think in Holly's boxing career, we always had the game of don't get hit, you know, hit and don't get hit, movement, and don't get hit. And it played out. That's why she was able to have so many fights and really never really get hit much. You know, people will get mad at Floyd Mayweather for being such a great defensive fighter. But in my mind, it's not about the fans. It's about the fighter's health. And so it had played out. MMA is kind of a different world and stuff. So there had to be some changes that had to be made to just the glove size, to the options of different variables and stuff. But I would never call her a slow starter at all.
Okay. By the way, who do you think wins, Mayweather or McGregor?
Well, I think if I was putting money on it, I'd put Mayweather on it. I think Conor has a chance early on. I think if Conor can come in with some different things that Floyd hasn't seen, off-angle things that he can attack so Floyd can't hide behind his shoulder, as such, he could pull off a surprise. But that would play out real quickly if Conor's thinking those thoughts.
Oh, okay. So you're not completely writing him off, but he has to do certain right things in order to give himself a chance. Oh yeah. He's got to come to the table with something that Floyd hasn't seen much of before, you know, and those are things that Conor can do. Conor's very athletic. Conor's got a great understanding of angles and footwork. But to do those things, that takes a lot of energy. And in a world title fight, do you hold back because you're worried about running out of gas, or do you just, let it go? And that's tough. That's hard. That's a hard call to make from the outside. What's going on in the fighter's mind? Are you working with Jon yet?
Oh yeah.
How's he looking? Any change in him?
No, he's looking good. Well, he's coming in with a smile on his face, and I'm going to tell you what, Jon's coming in. He's finding new ways to hit people with elbows, and he's bringing real close to people's faces and just stopping and smiling and continuing on the process. And so he's got some new things that are even meaner for Daniel this fight.
Were you in the camp of, get a quote-unquote tune-up fight before going back to the Cormier fight, or do you not mind a year and a half later, since his last fight, him fighting for the belt against Daniel?
Oh, I love him fighting for the belt. I don't think he had any need for a tune-up fight to go fight Daniel Cormier. I think as much as I respect Daniel, I think this is a good fight for Jon because we beat him the first time. I think Daniel couldn't take him down. Jon was able to take him down. Jon was able to, I think, beat him everywhere, and I think that plays in our favor this fight, that we can expand on that and change some things, as Daniel will try, so that he fails once again.
The way you said, I don't think he needs a tune-up fight to fight Daniel Cormier makes me think that you don't think Daniel is much of a threat to Jon Jones.
No, that's not it. But I think everybody's a threat. But Jon is he studies so much, in the fact that we had a lot of things. He had a lot of things figured out. Jon had a lot of things figured out in the first fight. That because he studies fight tape, he watches fighters so much that I think that's one of those things that he's kind of got most of it figured out already, and it should play out the same way. So that's why I was okay with it.
As a team, did you guys have a sit down with him for this camp and say, like, this is it, this is do or die, we need to get back on the straight and narrow, we need to do this right?
No, not as a team and stuff. I know I've had that talk with him. I know I'm sure all of his coaches have had that talk with him. At least I hope they would have. But he is on a straight and narrow. And I always say Jon Jones, no one beats Jon Jones but himself. And he's been focused in training camp through all of last week, on the right things. So with that being said, it should be a great fight for Jon.
Is this do or die for Holly Holm?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, if she was to lose this fight, it could be die. I never would see Holly retiring on a loss, and she's not going to lose. So it's not do or die. It's just do. It's just a do situation, honestly.
Okay, but that thought is there in the back of your mind if we're being honest.
Yeah, but you know what? It would be there if we were doing a hypothetical thing on my actually thought she could possibly lose, but I can't see Holly losing. I really don't. She's looking really good. Great game plan. Got some good people helping her out. Joey Villasenor, one of the old Pride fighters that helps out at the gym, has really been in her head on a few things as far as what can help take her to a new level, and we're real excited about it. Are
you also cornering Andrei Arlovski in Singapore?
No, I'm not. Andrei wasn't really able to make it to camp. A lot of issues that keep that from happening. But so as far as I know, we are not cornering Andrei. He's been kind of off communication from us.
Oh, is he no longer a part of the team?
Andrei is on the team forever. Andrei can have whatever he wants. So that would definitely not be the case. Andrei Arlovski is one of our main guys. We really like Andrei Arlovski. Just behind the scenes, there's reasons why he wasn't back in camp this time.
Okay, so Holly's the only fighter you'll be cornering?
Correct.
All right. Well, I wish you the best. Safe travels out there, Coach, and good luck, of course, Saturday morning here in the United States. Holly Holm versus Bethe Correia. Always appreciate your candor and your insight. So thanks for jumping on with us today.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All right. There he is. Coach Mike Winkeljohn, head coach for one. Holly Holm, interesting nugget there about Andrei Arlovski. I had heard that at the beginning of the camp he wasn't around. Was curious if he ended up there, but it sounds like he did not. And very interesting insight on one Jon Jones. And the way he said Daniel Cormier's name just kind of made me think that they don't feel still, regardless of everything, that Cormier is much of a threat. And also interesting to hear him say that this in many ways is do or die for one Holly Holm. Always a straight shooter, that Mike Winkeljohn. I appreciate his time very much, and I'm looking forward to that fight. I said last week on the program, I think as a main card, not the entire card, but just as a Fight Pass main card, a Fight Pass only event, this is one of the very best, and they've been doing less. This is just the second one, I believe, of 2017. But when you consider the names, Holly Holm, Rafael dos Anjos, Tarek Saffiedine, Andrei Arlovski, Dong-Young Kim, Colby Covington, this is a really good one, and I like the fact that it's happening so soon. As far as Saturday morning is concerned, you can watch your Saturday morning cartoons and some fights, and then you're done for the day.